Now let's talk about the second part, which is about the configuration of the vMkernels. So you select the ESXi host, you go to the configure tab here, and you're going to choose from the networking, you're going to choose vMkernel adapter. So before we do the vMkernel configuration, let's see that what's going to happen if you haven't configured vMkernel for vMotion. So can you migrate a virtual machine from one host to another ESXi host if that ESXi host is not configured with the vMotion vMkernel? So for example, this virtual machine you can see here, this virtual machine is actually is configured, or it is created, and it is running on ESXi host 2 of the. So you can see this virtual machine is on ESXi host 02, right? Now we are going to migrate this virtual machine to ESXi host 01. So I just right-click this virtual machine. From the pop-up menu, I choose migrate option. And here I choose compute only, which means only I wanted to move this virtual machine from one host to another ESXi host. And then I click next, and I try to choose another ESXi host, that is 1 here. Once I click on that host, the system or the vSphere client tells you that the vMotion interface is not configured here. Even if I try to click next, it is never going to let me move ahead because the validation to the destination is not yet configured. Now let's dig it out how we can do the configuration in this case. Now first of all, what you can do, you can SSH that particular ESXi host, and then you can choose whether it works or not. So you go for, as you can see here, I'm on the SSH session, and I have entered into the ESXi host 01, and I try to ping the interface, the vMotion vMkernel interface, is it available or not. So here in the ESXi host 02, where the virtual machine is currently running, you see here the vMotion vMkernel is configured. You can see by going into selecting the ESXi host 2, then you click on configure, then under the networking you go to the vMkernel adapters, and here you're going to see vMkernel 2, VMK2 is configured with vMotion, right? You can double check it with having the SSH, and you can use VMK ping, or normal ping can also work. VMK ping is specifically for ESXi hosts with some more switches available rather than using ping. And you choose the IP address, that is 10.10.30.51 is the target ESXi host 01's IP address. Does it work? So it says no. So it's not working. So what I'm gonna do here, we just move and try to check whether it works or not. So I select ESXi host 01, and you can see here vSAN and management is here, not the vMotion. Okay, so I need to click on add networking, and I select vMkernel network adapter, select an existing network, and I choose vMotion for specific port group which is dealing with the vMotion traffic. It's a separate port I have created already. Then I click next. I'm going to use the common I choose the service that is going to be enabled on this particular interface, and then I click next. I'm going to choose the static IP address, and this is recommended that you always go with the static IP addresses for the system traffic that you're going to define. So provide the IP address with subnet mask. I override the gateway, and I'm going to choose the gateway. gateway should be common as of the IP address scheme. Click next. Choose a summary. Just go through the summary that everything is okay. I click finish here, and you will see shortly that vMotion traffic is now configured on that particular ESXi host by adding add networking or option been chosen and adding the VMkernel in this case. If I select the same virtual machine once again, and before I do the migration, I double check it with, again, using vMkernel vmk ping with the same IP address, and now you can see it's pinging. So I just double checked it. I right click the virtual machine and I click migrate, and in the select compute to be changed from ESXi02 to 01, I choose ESXi01 here. And at this time, you see it is compatible. It is not giving you any error. And then you click next, choose the network that is again the same for the virtual machines to be migrated on. And then the priority of the vMotion is just like similar like that. If you set up the priority to high, amongst many other migrations, this setting being the high is going always being taken by the system on higher priority. If you put it on low, if there are ongoing migrations are there, so they're going to have more priority than this one. So it is recommended if it is needed right now to do the migration. So you always select schedule vMotion with high priority, which means right now the migration right after once I click next and I click finish. So it is required to be initiated right away. So you're going to see here that the migration is done. It is migrated, and you can see this virtual machine is now on host ESXi-01A instead of 02A. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you understood how I have just explained each and everything and tried to demonstrate the stuff, how you're going to configure vMkernel, how you're going to create the cluster, what are the different other options available within the cluster configuration settings. And in my next video, we're going to talk about the DRS and how it's going to be configured and how it's going to be used in our daily routine life. Thank you very much for watching.